What if I told you that your architects should focus more on how teams are organized than how your code and modules are organized? I'll tell you why. Hello, I'm Alek Melnikov. Today I wanted to tell you about a book that is a game changer. It's a game changer for anyone leading teams. The book is Team Topologies by Skelton and Manuel Pais. The book starts with an overview of the teamwork overall, and then it moves on into a detailed framework, the framework for purposeful and for deliberate organizing of teams. The book opens with an important reminder about Conway's law. The law states that the structure of the software that the team is building will reflect the structure of teams and groups that are working on it. One great example in the book is saying that if we have 4 teams working on a compiler, then we will end up with a compiler with 4 passes. So as a consequence of Conway's law is that if HR is structuring your teams and if HR is creating the org structure, then really it is HR that is dictating the architecture and the structure of your software. The book uses monolith systems as illustrations of failures in team organization. Monolith software is a system that is so tightly coupled that we cannot make an update and make a release of only one component. We have to release the entire monolith at once, and for that, for every small change, we have to retest and re-release the whole thing. That makes releases very slow and very painful. The book identifies 2 problems that lead to monolith releases. First has to do with team responsibility, and second has to do with unrestricted communications between teams. For team responsibility, it's important that every module has a team that has ownership of it. For communications, it's quite often we see that such things as open plan offices or flat organizations, they encourage unstructured and almost chaotic communications within the company. So in the end, we have that every person works on every module for a little bit. Without that organization, without the separation of team responsibilities, without the separation of team communications, we cannot expect the software to be separated into modules and for the software to be decoupled. What do we do with all that? Well, the book provides a neat model that can be applied to pretty much any organization. That model, first, it helps us understand what is happening, and second, it helps us categorize the teams and communications to make sure that the structure we're creating is optimal. The book identifies 4 types of teams and 3 types of interactions. Of the team types, I would like to focus on stream-aligned teams. These are the teams that we normally call product teams or feature teams. These are the teams that generate value for the business. These are the teams that make money. They take features that users need and they turn them into solutions. They take them from use case into development and all the way to deployment into production. Stream-aligned teams, they are the main workhorses of the company, and other team types, they support stream-aligned teams. For stream-aligned teams, it is important to be decoupled from each other so that each stream-aligned team can work on their subset of features within the code that they're responsible for, and they have full control to put new functionality, to test it, to put it into production. Ideally, each of the stream-aligned teams is so independent that they can push their own releases. They can monitor their own releases, they can monitor their components, and they can decide what changes, what fixes to make in their components. Since stream-aligned teams are the breadwinners, then other three team types, they are supporting stream-aligned teams. Enabling teams, those teams, they focus on knowledge, they focus on new technologies. Enabling teams, they sometimes experiment with the new technologies, they figure out how to use them to the benefit of the company, and then they get in touch with stream-aligned teams. They help stream-aligned teams make the most benefit out of these new technologies, new frameworks, of the new knowledge. Stream-aligned teams, they temporarily get in touch with the enabling teams, get the knowledge they need, and then they go back to work. Complicated subsystem teams, those focus on a complex part of the system. For example, they can have ownership of a video codec library, or they can have ownership of a library that deals with complex mathematical models. Stream-aligned teams, they need to move fast. So then they offload the complexity of those components. They offload it to complicated subsystem teams. Platform teams, those provide automation and technical implementations that just makes other teams' lives easier. So for example, a platform team can be asked to create a new environment. They will take care of it, they will do it, they will test it, they will make sure that the new environment is properly set up, and then they will give it to the stream-aligned team. That way, stream-aligned team does not need to worry if the environment was set up correctly. The platform team has taken care of it. Now, how the teams interact. There are three interaction modes: collaboration, X as a service, and facilitating. Collaboration is when teams merge fully or partially to achieve some common goal. That sometimes happens when a new project is initiated and the overall scope needs to be divided between teams and high-level architecture needs to be figured out. So several teams can be working on it, and it's very important to remember that in the end, each team needs their own area of responsibility, they need their own goal, and they need their autonomy. So the risk of collaboration is that team boundaries, is that they get broken and that nobody knows which team is working on what, and kind of every team is working on everything. Two other interaction modes are X as a service and facilitating. These interaction modes have one team helping another. The service has to be specific enough so that the team who is helping, they don't start getting production features into their work, but they just help and they step back. Most typically, stream-aligned team is the team that gets the benefit of X as a service or facilitating. In X as a service, typically, stream-aligned team gets a platform API as a service from a platform team. In facilitating, stream-aligned team can get some coaching, can get some help from a team that is enabling them, that is giving them some new knowledge or introducing some new technology for them. Both of these interactions have to be temporary so that stream-aligned team goes on their way working on their features. In conclusion, team topologies is a must-read for anyone working with more than one team. It's a fresh perspective on the aspect that we often overlook, but the book reminds us that we need to be deliberate in how we structure and how we organize teams. The book is very hands-on, it's easy to read, I enjoyed it a lot. I highly recommend it. Thank you for watching. I'm Alek Melnikov. Stay curious and keep learning.